Hello and welcome back to our Gravemire series here on Roll for That. My name is Paxton and I will be the dealer for this adventure.
Yep. My name is Cameron, and I'm playing Jeb here in this campaign.
My name is Grayson, and I am playing Raquel.
My name's Eric, and I'm playing Vance.
Excellent. And all of you, our delightful watchers, need to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I'm done. Last time, Vance and Raquel sallied back into the bayou in search of a missing musician and also their missing friend Jeb. They found Jeb and in a after some earth-shaking ruckus and
Oh
a
yeah.
close fight, they were able to find Jeb in an unsettling pocket of tranquility and calm in the middle of the bayou. It took a little bit of convincing, but eventually the three of you left the home of the woman whose name you can never quite remember, no matter how many times she introduced herself. And let's see, where did you travel through?
You say that about her name like it's mystical, but that's my everyday in real life.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't remember the first. We traveled to the tree. All I remember is traveling through the desert with the weird road.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the
And I
guy
think
with the
we ended
coffin.
right after the tree. Like I thought my character thought about maybe going and trying to put his aunt on, but it was a good point that it was really loud right before.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, you went to the you found the pine, and then from there you went into a uh, a strange desert area, and after surviving through that, you made it to this dark, uh, overgrown, like old growth, swampy forest where the standing stones were. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And then let me see, it was Vance who rolled a very bad roll, if I remember right.
Uh,
I mean, you don't have to put it that way.
I don't know. It sounded pretty good. No.
Vance was mesmerized by the magic of the stones and turned them on and got the benefit of them, but also um, they brought a lot of light and a lot of noise into this space that had previously been unsettlingly dark and quiet. So, let's see. The indigo light fades, slowly uh, appearing to seep back into the stones around you, Vance, and you become aware of your surroundings once again. The shadows seem even deeper and darker than they were before. And in fact, they are all moving, and they are all sharp and hateful. And they want all three of you dead.
That's not good.
um, y'all have a choice here. You may either um, try to run away as quickly as possible, which I will let you know up front will require a rousing success to get out without fighting, or you can roll the upper hand and have a fight with the creatures of these woods.
So you say like the shadows are sharp, but they're more like shadowy figures. They're not like actual shadows, or
They are shadowy figures
can I?
or things that are in the shadows, but it is hard to see them right now because all of your eyes are pretty dazzled.
You're right. You're right. I don't think Raquel's first instinct is to run. I think her first instinct is to like kind of stand her ground.
Uh-huh.
At this point, especially, but
Vance is definitely rubbing his head, trying to regain his awareness. I don't think he has the wherewithal to run either.
Well,
Yeah.
Jebediah, does
I
that
mean,
you're sticking with
would-
your friends?
yeah, I would say that this might be the point in looking back on it that my character would be thinking maybe I should go touch that, but deciding not to.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, in that case, um, the the leaves rustle about you, and each and a number of small, spindly, shadowy creatures that are vaguely humanoid, but appear to be made entirely of dark wood, maybe, and whose bodies are covered in thorns. Uh, Step closer to y'all, and violence becomes imminent. I need each of you to roll a willpower check to get this combat started. Remember, you want to roll below your willpower score on your 2d8s.
Can I make an argument real quick? Or a deal, as it were?
I'm always open to hearing deals.
In
nailed it.
place of rolling.
Nailed it. Got it.
I
Got
forget.
it one.
I forget. Do ties go towards?
Ties go to the player.
Okay, so I did nail it barely.
In lieu of rolling a willpower check, as Vance is trying to just get his head back together, I roll two upper hands and take the lower. So basically, like, more of like not really noticing what's going on until it's too late esque. Like,
that is an interesting thought. I need to get
it's
something really
fine.
quickly.
But
Right, let me think about it for a second.
I really wish this was rolled for literally anything else.
right, damage, healing.
It could have been for anything else. It would have been so nice, but just not this. Not this.
Them D8s betrayed you.
It did.
Mine worked really hard to not betray me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Cameron.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's all right. Jeb is the healthiest person in the group.
I am
Well-
also going to remind you that I will not gain new aversions if I go to 5 or 3 because I still have not been back up to 7.
Yep. That is a good thing to remember.
Yeah, man.
Now, Eric, I have thought about your offer, and I think that I'm still going to need you to roll the willpower check.
Wonderful. 10
Oof.
down to 6. Oops, hit dinner.
Am I only losing? What is the the
So
repercussions?
you always, or you only lose one unless this is related to one of your aversions.
Oh, phew, okay, so it's not that terrible then.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so I'm guessing there's no magnolias on these weird little branch boys.
Correct. There are no magnolias. This is not a crossroads. They're not hybrid animals. Y'all can see each other, and nothing has indicated that it wants to eat a human.
I mean, it can eat a human.
He's just
I
worried
don't
about
want it to
humans
eat a
eating
shadow
humans.
person. Yeah, exactly. Shadows can eat humans. That's normal. But humans eating humans? That is not normal.
Okay, fair. I'm not going to argue with you at this point.
I mean,
Okay,
we can discuss that when it comes up next.
absolutely. So now we're going to roll the upper hand. This is a skill check that is related to moving quickly, keeping your head, thinking on your feet.
Yes.
Anything related to any of those?
So I am very good at the fencing combat and also dancing.
Uh-huh.
I forget this one. You can use a tangential or a two checks with it, right? Or
Yes, you may,
So-
if you get it okayed.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, you
So
can add 2 bonuses, but no tangential.
no tangential. Okay. So my bonus is I am very quick on my feet, and I am also used to fighting in some sort of capacity. Not necessarily life or death, although being in the bayou the last couple of times has probably helped out a lot on that.
Okay. You've talked me into it. You can have your +6.
2D. That was 2D20. Don't look at that one.
Oh, I'm looking.
18 total.
18? That's
Yes.
still pretty good.
I was like, how did I get 36 out of 2D12?
Plus 2 for surgery for keeping a level head. Plus 2 for shotgun gun combat for reaction time. Because I think I normally use surgery, but I don't think I've ever used shotgun before. But I've never had my shotgun in combat.
Right. I don't know if shotgun super well, I guess skeet shooting kind of requires you to have that sense of timing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it to you this time.
Alrighty.
I don't want to hold things up.
14 total.
14 for you.
And I'm not arguing any additions, so 9.
9.
You rolled 2d8. It's supposed to be 2d12.
I'll
I
let you keep the
apologize.
Barely.
And then I need to roll. Ooh. Fun.
Don't do that again. Stop rolling that high.
Okay.
Better.
So that means that the order will be. Why do I always do this to myself?
Foe, friend, friend, foe, friend.
Yep, it'll be foe, friend, friend, foe, friend. The thing that I always do to myself is that I write down the player's first initial, but then I try to refer to the character as often as possible. And so I have to like actually use my brain to translate who is who.
Yeah.
You can just call me Raquel.
Raquel.
Do you have the combat tracker in Roll20 pulled up?
I do not.
Okay.
I am currently using a spreadsheet because that is a language that I know how to speak.
Absolutely. Just double checking that I wasn't missing something.
No, absolutely. It might be more visually interesting if I use the actual app that we're using. I will learn how to do that someday because I ought to. Okay, anyway. Gosh. I can actually just use this. So, Vance, you were the one who made all the noise. So I think you're the one who gets attacked first.
I mean, I think the stones made the noise, if you want to be particular about it.
Oh, but I don't.
Ducks.
That's the fun part. So one of these shadow sprites, perhaps, I don't know, 3 feet tall, with a face that looks more like a gnarled burl of hardwood than it does like human features, drops out of a nearby tree and lands directly next to you in the middle of this circle of standing stones. And roll 2d12 plus. I should well, whatever. It got a 13. Which, if I can remember where I put all of my things, is a partial success, which in combat just means that it just hits you, right? So that is 1 damage to Vance.
I like to kick them when they're down.
Next turn is Raquel's.
Okay. Raquel.
And Vance, you're on deck.
Is there that one that just hit him? Is it close to me?
Oh
wait, no, we're not that close to him.
It is close enough that if you rush over and lunge, you can get it.
Okay. Unless there's one closer to me, I will do that.
I believe that there... Hold on. There is one closer to you, yes.
Okay, which I guess... Whatever I'm doing is hitting the closest one.
Yeah. Yep, there is one that is closer to y'all. It is trying to menace at the young musician.
Okay. So I roll with my fencing. I don't think my other things really go for the rest of it. I'm not going to feint this first attack. Or use a feint kind of thing.
Okay.
9 plus 3, so 12.
That is also a partial success, if I recall.
Barely. Yep.
Just barely. And when a player rolls a partial success, I think that means a monster gets to make an action too. Let me double check, because
it's treated as a reckless move, which means
yeah, okay. Do you have that page up?
I just did. Reckless move is on 95. That note is on that note is on 81 in the book, 96 in the PDF.
Awesome.
And then the reckless move is 95 in the PDF, 80 in the book.
Perfect. Okay, so you do deal a damage to this thing, which I will mark. And then it gets to go.
Yeah, boy.
It melts into the shadows and then reappears and hits Jeb for 1 damage.
Take that, Jeb.
I don't like that at all.
Now, when I hit it with my little saber, how
Yeah.
like does it feel like it's hitting like actual substance, or kind of like
Um,
resistance, like water kind of thing?
It feels like you are hitting something physical.
Okay,
It feels like you are hitting a mannequin made of hardwood.
okay, and then it like suddenly just goes floop, floop, and
Yeah.
okay,
It
weird.
it like takes a step back into the shadows and is suddenly somewhere else.
Ooh. Okay, sounds good.
Vance, I believe that's your turn.
Okay. Moves in combat. Oh, goodness. So how many of them are there? Just the 2?
2 that you can tell. Yes.
Okay. Then I am going to make an attack. I'm going to try to shoot the one that's right in front of me and then move over to get with the rest of the group.
Okay. And that's moving as a tandem move?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not acting recklessly.
No, never. So, so I since I'm right up next to it, I'm not trying to aim, I'm just trying to do damage, so no rolls, so no bonuses to roll, but I would like to get +2 from my shotgun, and then if I may so argue, a +1 from hunting in the woods, because these are made of wood.
I'll give it to you.
And this is also the woods, though.
And yeah. And you're calling your shot to put all of your bonus into damage?
All of it into damage if I hit.
Okay.
Is the +1 into the damage or into the hit? I don't think it hit anyways.
I don't
Compounded
think so
failure is treated as reckless.
I thought so.
Yep. I just read that part.
Describe how you're taking the shot. Is it just like a firing from the hip as quickly as possible?
I think it's more of just like it's more of like a blind shot. Like he knows that the thing hit him, but he's still not exactly sure what it was because there's so much shadow, and he's not isolated, but he's separated from the group, so that's why he's trying to make his way back over there. So it's more of a frantic shot of like, there it is, boom, and he just shoots a little bit off, like a foot to the left or something.
That makes sense. Well, I'm just gonna double check what my other options are. Nope. I mean, things are pretty. So you go to make your shot, and it ducks underneath the barrel of your gun, and ooh, I think that's a miss.
Ooh, thank goodness.
Yep. It swipes at your shins, but you are able to step back just in time. The other one attempts to attack Jebediah again. But now, Jeb, how do you fend this off? And then you can transition straight into your turn.
I'm pretty sure it was all luck, but after getting hit with that first hit, I start pulling out my frying pan to use as a bludgeon, and it ends up hitting that while I'm pulling it out, to no effect of my own.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah, it was just lucky. But I guess with that, we're rolling into me trying to hit something with the frying pan. So
Sounds like it.
Womp it.
don't think I'm getting any adds to this, which is what I was expecting. And I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d8 and see if I hit.
You really built a fully optimized character, didn't you?
I did, but I rolled an 11, which isn't the worst thing ever.
Right, that is just a failure, which
It is
is
just on the edge of worst thing.
yeah,
But it's not the worst thing.
that's true.
It's only your worst roll so far.
um, this one that you swung at is suddenly just not there anymore, which is why you missed it.
Dang it.
And the one in front of Vance attempts to, well, let me see. Yeah, no, it would continue to try to attack him. There we go. Oh, ouch. That is
Another
enough of a
smoke.
success to deal you 1 damage.
Oof. Down to 2. Be-doo, be-doo. Oh, come on, intro noise.
Oh no. And that puts us on Raquel's turn.
Okay. So Vance has got hit. Does it look like it's ignoring the musician? Or just kind of doing its own thing so far?
The one that has been menacing y'all, or which one?
Do either of them look like they've kind of given? I know one trying to menace him a little bit, but mostly been attacking us, correct?
Correct. It is mostly attacking you 3.
Okay. Raquel will speak as kind of her. Oh wait, no. Communicating is a tandem, isn't it? That's to communicate with something. Well, we're gonna make the decision, and I'm gonna rush to our good friend Vance's aid and swing at the thing that's attacking him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna again go for accuracy rather than damage right now.
Okay.
So +3 from my fencing.
Okay.
14.
Ooh.
Partial success.
14 is a partial success. So you deal this one a damage. And it returns the favor.
Yeah, boy.
You drive your blade toward it, and it raises a hand, and you like spear straight through it. Give it a little stigmata there, and it like slides up the length of your blade, and swipes at your face.
Ooh.
And it gives you a nice like 2 scratches on your cheek before it twists and is suddenly not where it was.
Fair enough.
And you hear it behind you.
Shoot. Just 1 damage, right?
Yes, just 1 damage. And then it is Vance's turn. The one that you two were fighting is now between Raquel and the musician. And the other one is still missing, invisible, hiding.
Would I be able to hit it without hitting Raquel, or would I have to move?
It would just like take like a step.
Okay,
and
but it
you
wouldn't
would have
require my tandem.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna use a tandem, right? If okay, I'm gonna use a tandem for use object
Mm-hmm.
to use a use of my silver filings to just dump it down the barrel of the gun as I lever it,
Okay.
and then fire at the creature as my main.
Sounds good to me.
And then still all damage at the creature.
Okay. Add +5 to your accuracy.
Okay.
25.
25. That's rousing success, which I don't think does anything special, but let me double check. On a rousing success, they deal their damage and hinder the enemy.
Uh-huh. Well, and how much did you put into the damage? Like +3?
3, yeah.
So that would be 4 damage. So the combination of buckshot and silver dust, silver filings, blow a huge hole through this creature, and it shatters into a dozen pieces,
Yeah.
which which fall to the ground. Let's see. How do I want to rule the hinder the opponent?
I believe the shotgun in the book has a cone
Uh-huh.
spray, so maybe the other one could have been invisible behind it, if that is what it is doing, and just catches a little bit of it, making it visible now.
That's a very fun. I'll take that pitch. The other one now has like a silvery glitter outlining one of its legs and arms. And so y'all can see where it is.
It is described as a blast, not a cone, but I think that covers the same idea.
Yeah, it's the same general idea. So the thing steps into the low light surrounding you all, and it, oh boy, what are its exact stats on this action? It steps forward and tries to grab at the musician, but he stumbles away. He's holding his hands up in a wording motion. Stay away from me, dude. Jeb, help. And it is your turn, Jeb.
Oh, I'm dangerous, so I'm gonna go ahead and definitely help him. Cause I'm dangerous. But yep, here I come. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna run up behind this thing. Hopefully, it doesn't notice that I am doing so, and just try to hit it in the back of its shadowy head with my trusty pan.
With your trusty cast iron pan.
Yeah, it's real heavy. That's the only thing I'm banking on here.
Yep, absolutely.
It didn't work though.
Oh, that was your roll. Damn.
Valiant effort.
Well, an 8 is not a compounded failure, so
Just another failure then. I'm rolling in the dough.
yeah, it's great. This game is so fun and easy.
Don't worry. I was looking at some magic options, and it'd probably cost too much for what I want to do.
Probably. However, now it is Raquel's turn.
There's another foe before me. I do have it listed out on my
the foe that was just killed.
Oh, is he completely dead?
The one that shattered into a bunch of pieces. And yeah, that one is dead.
Nice. So the one Jeb missed, I guess I'm coming back to help out.
Okay.
So Raquel dances around, heads back over, and this time we're putting it all into damage. So my fencing plus 3
Ooh.
will be in damage. So just
Nice.
a raw roll. Raw roll. 8. Never mind. I do not.
Wow. Wow.
It was kind of a reckless swing.
Did you just say reckless?
It wasn't actually reckless, but it was
Oh,
kind
okay.
of a reckless. Because
Why did you
reckless,
roll 2d12 on that one again?
I did roll 2d12.
What was that?
Oh,
Sorry.
you rolled d8.
Was I supposed to roll? See, dang it, I'm messing things up for some reason
It's
tonight.
okay.
Anyway,
Reroll.
Yeah, everything's
We'll see if it
d12s
helps.
except for willpower.
I don't know
You
why
did
I
it on
mixed
your
it up.
last one too, as well.
I did too. No wonder I did. So this time
Oh,
maybe
no.
I didn't suck.
We are all very good gamers.
I think you
I-
bonked it.
Very good. Yeah, you actually bonked it on the back of the head. Um, the reason that Raquel thought she still needed to slice at this thing is because it takes a little while for iron to catch fairy creatures on fire. But once they light, they go up fast. um, this thing has taken an additional damage, and it is on fire from the cast iron at the bottom of your skillet.
Yeah, boy. Then Raquel comes over swinging at it and misses.
Uh-huh. Vance, it is your turn. This uh, creature, this thing, doesn't appear to be having a good day.
Stupid, but let me see if there's an option here. Oh, it's a whole ass regular move. So I want to make a skill check
Mm-hmm.
to do a mythology check to see if I know what this creature is and if basically like part of me is just like, oh, this thing has reacted to iron and silver, it's in the woods, maybe it's some kind of like little, there's so many different variations of the little people mythology across the world.
Uh-huh.
Is this one of the versions that we could get a wish out of? you know
Like, you want to do a skill check to see if you put the fire out, would it owe you a wish? Is
Yeah,
that basically what you're aiming for?
yeah. And then my second move, either way, is going to be an act recklessly to either attack it if it's not helpful, or help it if it's
If it's
that's
potentially helpful.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You may roll your lore skill. What is it? It's
I
called
think just a plus one.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stories. Plus one. 12. I don't think that's good enough. Partial success.
Let's see. A partial success on a stories check.
Which doesn't trigger a get hit because it's not an attack.
It's
Thank
not an
goodness.
attack. Um, um, so do we? Yeah, we always have time. Time is in uh tall supply. What is the opposite of short supply? Tall supply or long supply? Anyway, um,
Abundant. I don't know. Words, man.
yeah. So you determine that yes, this um from a story that you've heard, this very well might be a wish granting kind of creature. But it is also they are also cruel tricksters uh, who will always do their best to leverage wishes into the most misery they can.
All right. Since I'm not even for 100% that it does wish, I'm just gonna do the reckless attack then.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Let's see. This time, 1 from hunting into the shot, 2 from shotgun into damage for the called shot. 13, which is fine. It was already technically a partial success in that aspect.
How much did you put into damage?
2 additional, so it does 3 damage. And if it's still up, it can come at me.
Or if there's more.
Well, let me roll really quickly. For a thing. Oh, just barely doesn't. Okay. So your shotgun blast. Oh man, where do you hit it? So that it does not die immediately, but it is sure to die.
The spleen.
Probably, yeah, I was gonna say probably like the side of the abdomen,
Mm-hmm.
like something that, in general, is just a vital organ mess in most creatures. You know.
Yeah. You blow a hole through this thing's guts, or where its guts would be if it had them, and it opens its mouth to shriek, and instead of sound, a tree sprouts out of its mouth, and roots burst out of this thing, out of all of its wounds. It puts out the fire on its flesh, and the roots burrow deep into the ground, and its branches reach 20, 30, 40 feet above you. So that now standing where that creature was is a huge, oh man, what kind of tree is it? It's got to be a yew tree, which I don't think actually grows. Hold on. Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely a yew. Just in the middle of this path that the group is standing on.
Vance is huffing from his wounds, and like ash is coming out with each breath at the moment, and he says, I think we need to get moving. If any Are the shadows still moving around us?
Yes, but they are much slower. If you could attribute emotion to the movement of shadows, you would say they seem cautious.
Um,
But only
I
a
think
crazy
I agree with you.
that.
Best to get moving. That is an astute observation.
Vance takes the like little container of silver filings out and shakes it at the shadows before they start to run down the path.
Does that silver filings have like a
So he's
couple of uses?
yeah, I'm not using one, just kind of like an intimidating thing, like how you would hold a
Right.
cross at a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding like a jar at the shadows.
I've got a jar of dirt.
Exactly.
Oh, that's delightful. All right. Where are we now? Oh, interesting. That is okay. Well, I need someone to roll a check that has something to do with navigation or traveling quickly.
I think Jeb's got this one. No.
Yeah, experimental cooking should do it.
Yeah, that should absolutely do it.
I shall trailblaze. Unless somebody else takes charge. Trailblaze with my compass, right?
Yes.
So
So yeah, an additional +1 for use of your compass.
24. I mean 23.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely know directions to walk a majority of the time.
Yeah.
For whatever
And that was
reason.
very good roll. So you look down at your compass and you like tap at it a little bit because you want to make sure that the needle didn't get stuck on something. It's like floating inside of the fluid in there correctly. And you probably, oh man, tell me how Raquel realizes that um, if your uh, if your navigation and your measurements are correct, you can like leave the trail and walk 30 feet and be in Scarstone.
I think a lot of it is as she's like comparing the thing, she looks to the mile pine
Mm-hmm.
and like something just clicks as she's like watching the mile pine. She looks down at her compass and she's like, wait, no, it's like we're like we should be on the border technically right now. And so she starts looking around for something.
Oh, and you see like a glimmer of the fireflies of the border, like through some tree branches.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. And it's like this way.
And so you lead the group off the trail.
Yes. I am more than willing to go off trail.
Does the group follow?
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel has never
Oh,
let us
yeah.
astray.
I'm definitely following.
All right.
I don't even question it. Like I just am just walking.
Does the musician try to fight? I guess is another question. He's like,
I don't know. Am I carrying him still? I don't even know.
I think he is too freaked out to try to leave now.
yeah, and I guess he doesn't want to be alone
That's true.
after trees.
And y'all break through the trees and you step over the border and you regain an appropriate amount of willpower because of that.
Is it 2 or 3?
I just lost my
I thought
page.
it was 2.
I believe it is 2. Hold on, let me.
Page 53. You regain 3 willpower when you enter
Yep.
Scarstone, successfully completing a contract.
And I do believe that you Well, I don't remember. Did he still have his little mandolin case?
No, we threw it at the spider.
You drugged him and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
You know it, but I did bring his guitar.
Right, you did bring his guitar, but his guitar seems normal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's 2, correct?
No,
3.
you regain 3 because
Oh.
you fully succeeded in the
Oh yeah,
contract.
that's right. Why did I put it to 2? I only needed 2 anyway, so I'm good anyways. But I put it down to 2 instead of up to 8. But now I can gain
whoops.
more aversions.
I think we're all
Yay.
back to max willpower. Well done, everyone. We did
Yay.
it.
Hip 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 hooray.
And you also all gain some experience. Let me
Some
see.
special points.
Yes, some skill points. I wrote that down somewhere.
As someone who nearly died twice, I hope it's a decent amount.
That's true. Actually, so Vance almost died twice. Raquel almost died once, right?
Um,
I
I
believe
got pretty
so.
close. Almost got no willpower and almost actually died once. Yeah, I think I only got close to death on HP once.
Okay. But you also had really low willpower for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And Jebediah, you got kind of low health, but not okay. Interesting. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was fine. Compared to these guys, I just chilled at a cottage in the woods, so.
that's fair. I'm going to give the three of you 8 skill points, which is near the top end of a tier 2 contract, which is supposed to have a significant risk of death.
Oh, sure.
So now your maximum skill points is 22, or your total skill points or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, and if we'd like, we can move straight into downtime.
I am in. I forget what page that's on.
I'm ready. Starts on page 91 in the book, 106 in the PDF.
106 PDF. Okay.
Yep. Downtime activities and let ups.
And we get 4 let ups.
Yes.
Okay.
4 let ups and 5 potential activities. Let's switch the page. Let's go to the Scarstone Street, which I think unfortunately is one piece of art that we do not have a credit for. If you know who took this photo and where it is, please let me know so I can credit them. I say to our audience of maybe 4 people total, ever.
That's true. It is about 4 people consistently. And I'm guessing 2 of those are me. Because
Good guess.
I'm checking to make sure things went good.
Right. Oh, I should upload some tokens we can use for let-ups. I mean, only if I want to. Anyway, y'all each have 4 let-ups, which can be spent on doing downtime activities, which means that you can only do 4 of these 5 each.
Are we still doing the free sift through Scarstone now that we're back to a full one? Or do
Yes.
we want to make that a paid thing?
We'll also do. There is one free sift through Scar that happens.
Okay. Okay. So, and it goes in order because Jebediah wasn't here last time. We did this manually.
Yep. So, first off, rest or recover. Use rest or recover to regain health or willpower. This is the most common downtime activity. I
Which
wonder
I don't think
why.
we haven't done once.
I mean, that does happen when one of the characters is a doctor.
Right.
True.
And you're able to keep people's health as high as you have been. Anyway, so if you choose to rest, you regain 2 health. Then we do some questions that relate or that are about your character's relationship with respite and relationships.
I can do. Sorry, just curious. I can use 2 let-ups in this section, correct? Like.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I rest here twice and then gain a max HP in get stronger, can I gain that extra health there?
I will say yes.
Okay.
In my opinion, if you gain or if you improve your maximum of either health or willpower, that one additional should arrive filled, in my opinion.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
I am going to recover twice for my health,
Okay.
going up to
I am
7.
as well. Up to 5 currently.
I don't think I'm going to recover health.
Okay. In that case, let's go. Oh man, we'll figure it out. So the dealer asks you a question of their choice from the dealer's question list. Answer it in character, and then you ask another character at the table a question from the character question list. If possible, ask someone else who is resting and recovering with you. They should respond in character as well, with as much or a little detail as they would like. If you recover, gain willpower, we don't need to do that. Okay, so um, Raquel, would you like me to ask you 2 questions, or would you like to ask 2 questions? We're not going to do the full procedure twice, but we are going to do it 1.5 times.
Okay. And I would mostly be talking, since it's supposed to do it. I guess we can include Jebediah in this as one of my questions, or
We can,
both
yeah.
of them, kind of thing. How about you ask me 2 questions and I'll just do one?
Okay. Raquel, oh goodness. I really like all of these questions so much. I think I've got to go with the first one first. How would you describe your relationship to pain? And how do you sleep at night while you're resting?
Um, I think she has definitely gained some scars from this last visit. That the one magnolia from the weird little animal, like that scar burns almost every night. Like it doesn't like actually hurt, but like just the remembering the pain.
Uh-huh.
And then it always has a nightmare flash of those eyes as she sees his eyes again. And if she like falls asleep while in the presence of the other two, she is always like startled awake for the first time at least.
That makes sense.
And every time they ask about it, she's like, "Oh, it was just a bad dream." And I don't think she does well hiding that. Like she feels these weird little phantom pains, but she doesn't want to talk about it, and she feels ashamed of having these things.
So where in Scarstone do you find solace and peace?
That dockside bistro tavern bar thing. I think a lot of the time she gets lost in a drink. I don't think she like gets
Kirby
drunk.
owns the tavern.
Dockside Tavern Bistro thing?
Yeah. And I don't think she gets drunk, but like she has a big glass of wine or a tankard of beer or whatever. And she often just kind of like stares into it as like that buzz kind of feeling of alcohol dulls the pain.
All right.
And
now, is this the same bar at the docks that we have had scenes at in the past, or is this a different one?
I think it is the same one, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of the time, she does it alone, like without her friends. I think there's something about the two, or about Jebediah and Vance, that brings back the memories more than just being by herself for a time.
Ooh, okay. And would you like to ponder on which question to ask until after I've talked with Vance?
Yeah, I'll
So
ponder a
that
question.
then you can just ask your questions to each other right away, or do the character conversation all at the same time. Because I'm cool with whichever way. I just think that sounds neat.
Um, sorry, what was that last comment? My brain did not comprehend. I don't
No
know.
worries. Are you just looking at questions right now?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will. Vance, what or who gives you strength in your time of need? What makes this thing or person irreplaceable?
So I think instead of like a pure answer, there's just a small scene of Vance getting the payment for the job with everyone else, getting his share, and he takes a small portion of it, maybe a fourth, maybe a fifth of it, putting it in his pocket. He puts the rest of it in an envelope, signs it with signs it with his name, and puts a doctor's office on the to address and just puts it in the mailbox. And as he's walking away, he is just spending his wedding ring.
Hmm. All right. And then player questions.
Hmm.
If you choose to make up your own, remember they should be about relapse and respite.
Good questions. Good questions.
Hmm.
Um, After the dealer and player ask their questions, the players begin a roleplay scene that explains the answers to some of the questions that were asked.
And we could also just skip directly into the role play as long
Yeah.
as the questions get asked.
So, I think the roleplay is. So I'm thinking Raquel is at the bar doing her kind of solacey drink thing for like the
Hmm.
second or third day in a row when Vance Vance comes and like sits with her while Jebediah is like ordering drinks for them. And while when Vance first sits down, she's like, why do you even stick with me if I'm the one getting you hurt? Like, and yeah, that's just kind of the yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if you could say that you're the one getting me hurt. He kind of motions to the ash on his suit. But I would say that you've saved me a number of times as we've gone through these woods. Without you, he motions to Jebediah, the two of us would not really have a path to follow through this winding maze of trees and he stops for a second. Sand, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a little watered down, but I reckon this is going to be tasty after what we've been through.
Thank you, Jebediah. And she takes the drink he just brought.
Thank you, Jebediah. Vance smiles and takes a sip. Vance looks around and just says, about relationships and respite. Did y'all ever go on vacation as kids? When I was little, we didn't have a lot of money, so we would just go and walk it was a long walk, but we would go and walk to this mountain range, and there were all these really tall trees right up to the foot of the mountain, and then they just stopped, and we would camp there. It was always a peaceful experience. I think back to it a lot.
I
Oh, that sounds right nice. I think that I was always told that winter was the vacation.
that's that doesn't sound quite as fun as my childhood. My father actually traveled through a majority of Spain, with me in tow. I I had a pretty easy life. I don't know if it's necessarily a vacation, but I didn't really have much tasks to do anyways. And Raquel takes a big old bunch of gulps from her tankard.
Nice. All right. Our next downtime activity is learn from your mistakes. To learn from your mistakes, I will ask you a question, um, and then you explain yourself and take an aversion. Then you can choose a new skill to represent something you've learned from uh, your mistakes. You get the skill at +3 if it is tier 1, +2 if it is tier 2, or +1 if it is tier 3. When you learn from your mistakes, you do not do a role playing scene necessarily. Instead, lean into the introspective nature of the questions in this activity. Allow yourselves to be vulnerable with the table and let the other players lift you up in turn. Would any of you like to spend a let up on learning from your mistakes to learn a new skill?
I am wanting to do that.
Ooh.
Um, I think that you said you're going to ask a question, but I think it'll start in this way.
Uh-huh.
As I'm walking down the streets, you see that I'm starting to get jumpy around shadows that seem to move out of the corner of my eye.
Okay. Interesting. In that case, um, Jebediah, identify a critical mistake you made in your last mission and analyze it as such. How can you promise yourself that you won't make this mistake again?
I believe, if my ears do not betray me, I heard a slight holler and then a quick mute. So he may have been pulled away for just a moment.
That did sound much like that. And it is about bedtime over at their house.
That is exactly what happened, and I am back.
Okay.
As a parent, I recognize that noise very, very aptly.
Yeah, I hit the mute pretty quick, but not quite quick enough. Um, yeah, so I think that in my, and this is kind of a retrospect of, it feels like it's been a compounding failure to you guys throughout multiple things that includes this last play session, but not having any combat ability whatsoever. And I feel like that has been my character's failure to you guys.
Mm.
And the shadows just were a part of that failure this time. And also in not game term or like in game terms, I rolled the wrong dice, and that felt like a failure.
Whoa.
so a mix of them there, because I missed, but technically I didn't miss, but it felt like it was a failure on that one too.
Uh-huh. That's a good explanation, or that is a good answer for the question. So now you can choose one of the three options under explain yourself, and then we'll figure out your new aversion and skill.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. I was just looking at that, but I moved away from it briefly. Um, and so explain myself. I think I mixed it up. Okay, so it's one of the 3 bullet points under explain yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can also come up with something in that same vein that has something to do with how you react to your feelings of failure and how they change you.
Yeah, so I think that maybe this is the first time that I've realized or like fully internalized that I don't know if my character cares about his own life all that much, as far as like he just wants to be a famous chef. But he's come to see that you two have responsibilities or things that are weighing down on you that are a more important thing. So I think that I've lost a little bit of the whimsy that was once inside of that was once inside of him, and he feels that he needs to shoulder some of the burden of your guys' burdens, not by necessarily doing those things, but by helping to keep you alive where I wasn't before.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
All right. So, in that case, let me look at your sheet here. Do you want to talk aversions or new skills first?
I have an idea for both of them, so I'm
Okay.
fine with either. The aversions, I don't know if moving shadows would be the right thing, but I think that the aversion would be unnatural shadows.
Oh, I love that. That wording's very good. Now that is something that kind of exists a lot in the bayou.
Hmm.
Does anybody want to workshop that and see if we can narrow it down a tiny bit just for Jebediah's
would
mental safety?
would something more like animalistic shadows
I
or
missed the first word there. What shadows?
animalistic or humanoid or something
Humanoid shadows.
Oh,
more
like animate shadows,
We
or
could also say like living shadows,
okay,
where these shadows were actually like alive and moving, at least to his perception.
I do like that. Yeah,
here.
let's do that. Perfect. All right. And what skill are you thinking about?
The skill that I was thinking was I've generally been using my not only generally using my pan for weapons, but also just kind of things I find. I
Uh-huh.
was thinking maybe uncanny weapons.
Ooh. Um, kind of a an improvised weapons thing.
Yeah, so basically just like what I find. Probably will usually be my pan, but it could just be whatever's within reach or like a kitchen knife, just things that aren't usually considered a weapon.
A
Gotcha.
stick. I
Sticks.
Um,
No, please don't hit people with dicks.
I didn't That's not what I
so
said.
let's see.
I misheard.
Listen, it's uncanny, right? So I'm gonna use what I have.
Yeah. This sounds kind of like a tier 3 skill to me
Yes.
because
Mm.
it is very general and can be used in most situations that involve uh, fighting, which is a lot of situations. If you'd like to narrow it down a little bit, we can talk, but I'd be okay with giving that to you at a +1.
If we did narrow it down, my argument would be kitchen fighting, to put it down to a tier 2, maybe.
Okay, like fighting with kitchen implements.
Exactly. So it's not just anything that's around, but kitchen implements. I'm using a spatula, I'm using my pan, I'm using my knives, typically.
I like that, and that is that's very fun, and I might argue maybe Jeb has not lost all of his whims. So yeah, let's add that to your list at a
You're a barroom brawler now.
tier 2. Why is whatever? I will fix the formatting in a second.
Shift enter.
Oh yeah,
Scusi.
As the
Thank
person who
you.
formatted that slide, I know all the issues with it.
Yeah. Okay. Would anyone else like to learn from your mistakes?
No for Raquel.
Not these day.
In that case, we move on to learn something new and get stronger. This is the fun and simple one, where you spend skill points to upgrade your existing skills and stats.
And you can use up to 4 skill points per let up you use.
Correct.
So you can't use all of your skill points.
Vance is spending 1 let up on learn something new and get stronger.
So, Raquel. So if I think she's going to do 2 here.
Okay.
So I will have 8 things at my disposal.
Ooh, I misread the skill point cost for that. Crap. It'll be fine.
I'm gonna do a max health. That's 2, and I have 6 other things. Oh, I need to get rid of 2.
Keep doing that.
How many things could we do? Was it 5 total?
You can 4 let ups, or the
It was 4 let ups?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're at
yeah.
3.
Wait, what?
You're at
Yep,
3
and-
let ups right now.
yeah, you still have 3 left.
Oh, I still have 3 left. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying I've used 3. I was like,
No.
what?
You have
Dang, I
3
didn't
left.
realize.
Fencing will cost me 1, so I'm gonna go up to 4 on fencing.
Was sifting through Scarstone going to cost anything?
Sifting. So we get 1 free sift through Scarstone as a group.
Oh, okay.
But it and get something you need would still cost 1 more each. Yeah, if you wish to do them individually.
I gained 1 max health and added +1 to my woods hunting.
Nice.
I was gonna add +1 to stories, but I dyslexia'd into, or I say dyslexia, I misread it as the 2 and 3.
Oof.
I'm going to.
I look at numbers all day long in my job, and my eyes don't always read them right.
May I
Fair.
get a new tier 3? Or maybe this is just misdirection, but is there one, like a tier 3 kind of thing, like stealth or hide?
So you can definitely finagle misdirection into being useful for that. But if you wanted to gain a new skill, that will require you to learn from your mistakes. If I
You can
No,
spend
you can-
skill points.
Oh no. Yeah, you can spend skill points on it. So
it
yeah.
costs.
Yeah.
I'm going to do, so I'll have a +1, and I'm just gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it stealth if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so like,
feels like a tier 3
Yeah.
kind of description.
yeah, the examples for stealth in the tiers list is indoor stealth is a tier 1, urban stealth is a tier 2, and stealth in general is a tier 3.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. That way, yeah. I think misdirection and stealth I can use a little bit in tandem kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, like I want more of a dedicated help us hide kind of thing for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And then I took 2 in fencing and extra health, so I spent 8 of my skill points.
Nice.
So
Is
extra health, 2 fencing, and 1 stealth.
is there a max to your pluses on skills?
No.
No.
Interesting.
But if you roll 2 ones on the d12s, it's an automatic compounding failure.
So like you could get your cabbage farming up really high.
I could be really good at cabbage farming. That's true.
Man, when we fight that cabbage monster, that thing is so screwed.
What are you gonna do?
Hold on, let me
Oh,
write this down.
So Vance, did you use your last let up for this, or?
No, my last let up will be acquire something new
Okay.
or whatever it is.
That's right.
Now,
You
Ra-
just use one.
Raquel, have you used all of your let ups
Yes, I have used all mine.
I used all mine as well.
now? Okay. So Vance is the only one with a let up left,
Yes.
is what I'm hearing. Awesome. So
Do we want to ask the questions for learn something new?
for learn something new, yes, absolutely.
Let's see.
So these are all questions that the three of you will ask each other. If you don't want to use one of the example questions, just know that they need to be about personal growth and fallibility.
And then after this, we can roleplay a scene. Okay. I think Raquel's contribution to this will be, what do you value in our team and what worries you, kind of stuff.
And who do you intend to ask?
I think Jebediah, because with his new aversion and skill gain from learning from his mistakes,
Uh-huh.
I think that's kind of just a good opportunity to kind of just, in a scene, address
Some of those thoughts that he had.
yes, because a lot of that
Yeah.
is introspection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that in return, Jeb would probably ask. Honestly, I think at this point, Jeb would ask out loud, each of them what their fears are and how we, or specifically I, could help them overcome it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I spent 3 points here, so I'm going to ask them both what they fear and how to
Okay.
overcome it. I don't know if it's
Fair point.
together, like they're both there, or if I go to them individually. But
Did you need to spend 3 here? I thought you.
Yeah.
You did have some.
He had
Some.
I had
10.
I had 10 SP total,
Yeah.
so I had to use all 3 to spend all 10.
Sounds good. Good on you for your honesty. I spaced on those other 2.
Yeah. We can kind of start a scene with those questions, and then
Yeah,
Vance
and if
can
I-
join.
All right.
So what? Since you spent more let ups, where are we, Mr. Jebediah?
Oh, is that how it works?
Oh, that's
Uh,
what I'm.
It is now.
Yeah.
We do have some established places already. like
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
dock,
go look
the
through.
bar at the docks, the boarding house, the schoolhouse. I just added the post office, and there's also Miss Elliot's house, where you might go if you wanted to do some spinning or uh, quilting or knitting and gossiping.
I think maybe I'll start with my questions, and I'm going to just decide and assume that we are at the boarding house and we are playing cards.
Okay.
I dig it.
Heck yeah.
And over cards, I'm going to turn to my good friend, um, well, both of you technically, but I think I'm going to start by turning to Raquel in this card game and ask the question. So, what do you fear? What are some of the things you're scared of?
You you remember that story of the animal that almost killed me? The the cat with the horns, the antlers?
Oh, I do remember you telling me about those.
It it had something about it. Its eyes were the eyes of Enrique. And I think I've mentioned him before, but they were his eyes. And he bore the magnolias of his family's crest on his body. That's what I fear. I fear that man, or whatever he is now.
All right, now, this is gonna sound a little funny, but how can I help you to not be so scared of that?
If I could just know he's dead. If I can, I don't know how it works out there. I don't know if I can kill him, but if he can die, that's all I want.
All right, so we just need to kill this thing a second time.
I don't even know if he died the first time. But something's
I put
changed
my
him.
put my
He was
hand
quite
on their
injured.
shoulder. It's okay. We'll help you through. Don't you worry. And then I turn immediately to Vance, just like that one's done, and I just turn and I'm like, what about you? What are you scared of?
I am scared of being alone, of not having anyone around to help pick me up when I fall.
Vance nods and like not Vance, my gosh. Jeb nods to Vance and says, "Oh, okay, that is a scary one, but you can see like he's got a little bit of a smile. He's like, that one's easier to help with. I'll stick around. Don't you worry.
Very much easier. Just don't go missing again.
I'm gonna do my best not to go to any cottages anymore. Okay, I'm gonna be here in the moment, and I'll bite those weird-eyed cats. I'll be there."
If you do happen to go to another cottage, I hope it's just as nice as that one we visited.
Oh, it was really nice. That's true. That's very true. But you're telling me all these stories about when I was gone, those shadow things. I I think that maybe I need to stick around better.
Like, Jebediah, why do you why do you stay with us? Like, what worries you, and why are you here?
Oh hell. You know, I was once told something about cabbages, and my father said, son, you need to take care of these cabbages. You'll help them grow. They'll be able to nurture. If you nurture them, you help them. They'll be able to help to be nutritious for those that you are able to give them to. You might be able to save lives. You might be able to just help someone during a down time with these delicious red cabbages. And that's what I'm feeling right now with you guys. I came here looking for just the best ingredients, but I see your guys' goals and those things you're doing out there and all those things trying to stop you, and I want to be able to help in my own way too. And I'm just worried that I might get too focused on just experiencing this fun, crazy, weird area with all these crazy just ingredients and get lost in what can be important to the people around me. You understand what I'm saying there?
Very clearly.
Yeah. Also, I got blackjack.
Uh,
I look down at my hand of 5 cards and say, "Shit, what are we playing?"
there's a good one for that scene. Um, Next we have an activity to sift through Scarstone. We get one free sift through Scarstone as a group. Eric, would you like to also sift through Scarstone with your final let up?
I would not.
Okay, in that case, let's just do this one. Um, so as a group, the three of you will ask me a question from the. Oh, sorry, I cut you off, Grayson.
So I was just going to recommend, since me and Vance have done this previously, I would like, or I think, Jebediah should have a bigger role in this as choosing. Like we can collaboratively still help out, but if you're okay with that, Vance, but I'm gonna
I
take
would
a
absolutely, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That is very fair and equitable.
Appreciate that, but I do want to know, what have we asked in the past?
Let me pull my notes up. So far we have asked. Raquel has asked, "How do the residents react to my return?" In which we learned that there is a group of women that bother over her return because they do not believe she should be out in the bayou. We also then learned that those women are the spinsters who work in the big spinning house previously mentioned. I asked who is following me, in which we learned about a young boy named Brian Kirby who dreams of either going to university or being a cowboy. And I asked a description of the docks. We learned that the docks are very large. They were expanded in hopes of revenue, but then the bayou became what it is now, and that turned it on its head. Let's see. The next one I asked, "Who can I trust?" And we met a Pennsylvania Dutch man named Jonathan who defends Vance from the locals. Uh, like downtrodden words. And then I asked for a description of the school, which we learned is an old, small fort built by French trappers that is a defensible location, lest the border ever falls.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I like a lot of those. If it were just me asking in general, I'd be interested to know what place in town is most comfortable with my or our presence, like where a bunch of people are just like welcoming and inviting, or accepting of us, just like in as a general whole.
Which place in town is most comfortable with your presence? Let me look at my notes, which are not nearly as much. Have we gone into much detail about the boarding house?
No, not that at least not that I have.
Yeah, I don't think, other than like this is where we stay. I don't think we've talked about it at all.
All right, that's fair. Well, let's get some details about that place then. The place that is most comfortable with your presence is absolutely the Moorhead boarding house. This place is owned by an older couple, I think. Um, let's say that their names are. Ooh, what do I want to say? Oh, uh, their names are Dale and Jonathan. Um, and an older couple of gentlemen who are definitely just roommates.
Yeah.
Absolutely for sure.
That's what history taught me.
Yep.
Business partners.
Uh-huh. They're such good friends that they sometimes hold hands.
It just
Um,
made financial sense to stay in the same like upstairs area, you
Yeah.
know.
yeah, absolutely. You know.
Sometimes they just forget to stop shaking hands. It happens.
I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
shoot, we're still shaking hands. Oh dang it! I'm so sorry. It was silly of me.
Oh, we forgot to
uh,
move the second bed into the bedroom. Guess I'll have to.
Oh,
yep.
embarrassing, but it's too late to move it now.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
was just financially made sense to give all the other rooms to more clients, so they just share one.
Yeah. um, yeah. So anyway, that's Dale and Jonathan Moorhead, um, who definitely have the same name because they just decided that they were brothers or something, right? Anyway, this bit is getting old.
They married into the same family. You kidding me?
Oh yeah, definitely. They married twins who
Sadly,
then
both widowers. It's a
yeah,
tragic tale.
it is really really tragic. Anyway, um, also don't read into their last name because I just realized what it sounds like. Anyway, so the boarding house is a comfortable it's a let's say it's a 2-story building. um it's probably in the top it's easily in the top 10 largest buildings in Scarstone. um there's room for uh there's like 8 bedrooms in there, not counting the Moorheads own living quarters. um and most of the rooms are full most of the time, um because this is the only boarding house in town. um the furniture is simple and well worn but comfortable. There is always a fire going, um, and there is usually some kind of food cooking over the fire. Um, they don't. It's not always the best food, but it's. Oh, actually, let's say they've got some kind of like a an eternal stew going on. So just you know, if you anyone in town uh, who lives at the boarding house or not can bring in, vegetables from their garden or some varmint they shot with a pea shooter or, whatever. A little, a chicken. And if they're willing to add something to the stew, they're allowed to have a bowl of it.
So
Um,
this is where I am most of the time.
oh, absolutely. Um, let's see. I think that Dale in particular is kind of in charge of the stew, but the moment he realized how good you are at like cooking and experimenting with flavors, he was like he pulled you aside at one point and was like, "Now, Jebediah, I need your help. You see, the stew, it's not as good as it used to be, and I just don't know what's missing." Um, it's strange because all we do is we add ingredients. We never take it. Of course, it's impossible to take anything out of the stew, not wholly. Um, but it the balance isn't the same as it was even a year or two ago. And he would have like brought some little cups of stew and been like, "Here, have a taste. What do you think this needs?" Um,
He's like, you know what? Well, I've had a lot of stews in my day, and I think you have a too much of a varmint to vegetable ratio right now.
it needs more cabbage.
Definitely needs more cabbage. Always the answer. That's always the answer. But
Uh,
yeah.
that's good. Um, Other boarders come and go. Some of them come back. Most of them don't. Um, Actually, during this downtime, the three of you realize that you're pretty sure that you are all you are the three who have been here uh longest total of all the other boarders. You are veterans now of Scarstone and of the Bayou
Oh my.
and of the Convulsion.
Well, well, well.
I think that in Jeb's head, he's suddenly realizing that we all might not have much time to do what we need to do here.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then our last downtime activity is get something you need. Vance, what do you need?
I'm gonna get the thing I didn't get last time, which is a bear trap.
A bear trap. Excellent. In that case, I must ask you, um, let me see, what are the themes are survival and necessity. Um,
What's the bear trap necessity?
It's the bear
Look
trap
for
necessity.
no more, no more. I fear the mouse. Um,
Mouse, please, please make this video big.
um,
But don't don't take our money.
so
Blast family.
Vance, uh, the day or like the morning after the three of you return, like really early in your downtime, one of the other boarders at the boarding house pulls you aside, and she tells you, "I'm going out with my team today, and I don't have room in my packs for this. I don't think we need it that much, but it's anyway. If I'm not back in a week, you you take this, all right?" And she presses a uh, like a leather wrapped bundle at you. Um, and she says, "Just hold on to it for me, and if we ever see each other again, I'll need it back. But till that time, I think you might get better use of it." And so, how do you feel knowing that, as far as you can tell, you are now walking around with a dead woman's possessions?
Hmm. I think if it was 2 weeks ago, it wouldn't have bothered him one bit, considering he is a surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's part of him that's just a little bit paranoid now that he's embraced like the more superstitious aspect of his life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more of a like, okay, I just need to be very certain of when I'm going to use this. Um, I don't think it scares him in any kind of way. Like it's not something that's detrimental, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely just like oh, like when you walk through a graveyard kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you're not a spiritual person, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, this feels a little weird, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And then mark down the item. Ask a player about the question I just obtained.
That lady was weird. What?
Right? Let's see. Survival and necessity.
So,
None of those pre-built questions really work for this one.
survival.
I think actually this is just a little bit more. Vance will walk up to Jebediah and kind of unwrap it and say that the lady who got here just the other day, she gave me this to hold on to till she gets back. She didn't seem certain she was gonna come back though. When have you ever seen anything like this? I recognize it's a trap, but have you ever seen one in use? And he shows it to Jebediah.
Well, I'm not a hunter myself, but I've used a couple of traps in my day. This looks like it's bigger than you would use. Well, definitely bigger than you'd use for a beaver. But I mean, it looks like it could be used for anything up to the size of a horse, even. We could probably use that to catch some good eats later.
I'll make sure I keep it safely tucked away then. And he puts it in the bag that he brings with him.
Free stuff's free stuff, may as well.
Nice.
Wunderbar.
All right. Um. And in that, and with that, we come to the end of our downtime questions. And before we do any bidding on contracts, I have to ask Vance another question.
Yeah, I knew this one was coming.
um, how do you handle gathering your repayment for friend?
Um,
I almost forgot about that. I thought you were gonna be like, "How do you handle this letter saying your wife's dead?" And I'm like, "Holy crap, man!" But that
Cold
makes
as
sense.
ice.
I just have that I owe him or owe them 2 to 3 border bugs.
Correct.
Was it specified that they needed to be living?
I do not believe it was.
Okay. Um,
I do think that they specified they wanted specimens, so you probably can't get away with mashing them up.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
what Vance does is, assuming we're here for a little bit, he does watch them for a bit to see if the rumor he found in the book about their life cycle being true is actually true.
Mm.
So if I need to if I need to roll something for that, I'm glad to. I don't remember. Oh no, you put Daisoy in Scarstone. So he would just watch them for a bit and see if that's how it is, just out of morbid curiosity for himself. And then once he knows the answer, whether it's yay or nay, he would probably take one of the many bottles the three of them have emptied at the bar at the dock and catch 3 bugs in it and wrap it in parchment so the light doesn't glow through the bottle and put it in his bag.
Okay, yeah. You are able to do that. As far as you can tell, yeah, these fireflies are entirely real insects. When you look at them up close, they look different from normal lightning bugs, but not so different that you're pretty sure they're at least related to normal flies that you're familiar with.
Alrighty.
So now you've got that in your pack for next time you head out. And it's time to come up with your next contract if we have time. We can always do this off screen if we don't have time.
We are at 150 for recording.
Okay.
If that affects anything for you guys.
If you've got contracts ready, I think I'm ready to bid.
Okay. I do not have a lot of new ones because I keep on forgetting to write them.
Oh, I say we just go kill the king boar.
I mean, that is a possibility.
That's like the only one I remember.
Stream my list to y'all, but not to our viewers because you're enjoying our view of Gravemire or of Scarstone too much.
Oh, by the way, it's actually
yeah.
What's that?
It never went to the city.
The player flag.
Did we not move the flag? Gosh dang.
And I meant to tell you, and then I forgot about it because.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. It's fine. No one expects me to be a professional.
So we got a tier 1 cold call. Find a mysterious woman who saved X's life, or person life.
Yeah.
Deliver repayment and letter. Return services requested. With instructions how to find person. Tier 2 run in. A U.S. Marshal wishes to round up and deputize a posse to find an escaped convict and bring him to justice. And then Tier 3 kill contract. Find and destroy the king boar. Payment delivered upon receipt of intact tusk. We have a research task about the ambrosia wasps. I believe that is something somehow told to Jebediah, yeah.
What were your guys' goals again? The two of you?
Make money.
Just yours is just make money?
Pretty much, yeah. I like Vance's general understanding is that if he makes enough money, he can send it back and the doctor will be able to heal his wife. He has started looking for ways out here to heal her, but I don't know if he's convinced that there is a way out here more than just fancy words and tricks.
Fair. And then what about oh, go on.
I think Raquel is trying to get money to go back to Spain.
You guys just want money? All right. So what I think that I go up to this board and I look at it and I say to myself, what's going to make the most money here?
Oh boy.
And I pick that one. Unless, I mean, obviously I'm not doing this alone, but I probably would like point at it and be like, that one looks like the best one, I think.
The one offering the most money is probably the king boar. Though uh, the U.S. Marshal uh, who wishes to round up a posse to find an escaped convict would probably also pay pretty okay.
Does it specify his crimes?
Um,
Because if it's
yes,
like
I think.
tax evasion, like,
No, this person has committed a number of crimes. Um,
that we can discuss later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide how much detail I even want to go in. I think I will say that this person has committed crimes sufficient that all three of you believe that they uh, probably should be brought to justice. Um, Wherever that falls for each of your individual characters
I
will
can buy into
probably,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that Jeb in that situation, or like that one specifically, he's obviously not in town, right? So I think that Jeb might be more of the opinion that this swamp will take care of that one. I don't even know why we're making a posse.
That is fair.
It makes sense, but also like he's gonna find his own justice. So I think I will push for the King Boar. Happy Monster.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Vance would say, I'm. If you're confident we can do it, I'm fine going after that boar. My only argument, I guess, would be to say perhaps we can go try to speak with this mysterious woman, get a small payment, and prepare to go fight the boar.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't think that I'm going to be. Jeb's not doing any persuading. It just seems like that's what he's leaning for. Is like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, the boar, and the excuse he keeps using is that it would be a good opportunity for trying out an amazing new ingredient. Because who's ever had king boar? No one.
That's true.
Excuse me. Clearly, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So Vance is down for it. His only other suggestion is doing the cold call, since it seems pretty simple, and just getting the small payout to get to do just a little bit more like uh item prep, basically
Yeah,
a gear up sesh before we go hunt down the king boar.
and Jeb has no oppositions to that idea.
Yeah.
Hey. I don't think Raquel has any strong opinions.
You don't want to go map out the place, Raquel?
No, not really.
Feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, it keep as long as I can get my general bearings, everything's kind of okay. um, I'm okay. I'm okay doing a gear up and then king boar for the next one.
Okay.
So
And we can also do another combination, like do the cold call and also look for the ambrosia wasps.
I don't think Jeb would have any problems with that.
That
Anything to do with
absolutely.
the ambrosia wasps are a thumbs up to him.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that either. I think our last combination was doing a double thing for Vance as well. So I think anytime we can do a double for a party interest thing, I like that idea.
Okay.
Plus, that kind of counts toward the gear up idea, especially if Jebediah is coming at it with the cooking aspect.
Mhm. For sure. All right. In that case, since we are doing this as a bidding on contracts, if we want to do the two combined, I feel like that should be approximately tier 2, which would make this about as dangerous as our most recent adventure. So one or more of you are likely to get very severely injured and possibly dead. Does that sound okay?
Prove
I'm
it.
fine with it.
I mean, yes, that's fine.
Makes sense.
I fully endorse it. Let's try it at once.
Okay.
Take my money.
In that case, I will get
It's
that
the-
prepped for next time.
Nice.
It's the combination Pizza Hut Taco Bell.
In that case, to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe and ring the bell. Get in the comments. Tell us what you liked and what you didn't like.
And invite all your friends to do the same.
Yeah.
And if you,
You
don't
know,
have
we-
friends, get friends. For us.
If you don't have friends, that's a lie. I'm your friend. I will be your parasocial pal.
Join us on Discord. Join our social medias.
We definitely have those.
They're not very active.
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter at sentimental_BOI. I mostly, I don't know,
I have
rant
3
about
Twitters.
things and like other people's posts that are also ranting about things. Definitely a good time. Anyway,
Okay, we love you guys.
this has been Roll for That.
Bye bye.